this is all breaking news, so it could change, but it seems like there was roommates and other people in that Discord chat that are going to be also paying the price for this entire thing, because it wasn't entirely
to be seeing those texts, I mean, I read little quotes here and there of what was in the Discord chat. It wasn't simply like, fuck him, fuck this, hate him.
It was logistical.
It was logistical stuff about the operation.
Mm-hmm. It's not a political, like, circus to start throwing around, RICO cases here. I think it's legally sound for them to explore that. And if there's actually funding tied to some of these groups, I would fucking love to see them like dig into that stuff, because it's hitting mentally ill kids after COVID, and with these horrible devices that they're stuck to, like they're just sitting targets. So you kind of it's kind of like you can sympathize to a certain level with the kid that is caught up with this stuff, because there is a fucking force, whether it's a direct one or an indirect one, that brings somebody to that point where they do it. He should still be shot and killed.
The kid is the I'm to strike from the record. That kid is an adult 22-year-old male.
Sure.
I understand what you're saying, though, is when you're growing up in an
22-year-olds are still kids.
He's not a silly boy.
Channel.
I'm not even that old. I think 22-year-olds
when I was 22. I'm 23. So.
Yeah, so there we go.
That's a man if I've ever seen one.
Anyway, Will, what do you think? We kind of threw you into one of the more like sober.
Yeah,
this is the most sober hit send we've ever had.
I've done a hit send with you guys.
Oh,
yes, you have.
Yeah, that's right.
We had fun. We talked about Bitcoin though.
Oh yeah,
I stay in my lane.
As usual.
That's the most boring hit send that we've had.
I stay in my lane. I stay in my lane. No, you're not an adult if you're in a Discord channel. So he's a child.
So that's everybody on Twitter. Yeah. Crypto Twitter.
You guys are way more caught up with the Charlie Kirk stuff than I am. I've seen all like the tweets about it so far, but I've been kind of like pushing it out of mine, because like I don't know how much there is more to know at this point. It's just like something awful happened, and I've just been like, okay, put that over here. How much you guys were like, I'm gonna dig into it? That was like your.
I haven't even dug into it, honestly. This has all been just like stuff that's come across my notifications.
What do you think like the barbell is for this then? Is that what it is? Like my response is like, this is awful, I want to stay away from it. And then
my response is I'm actually going out and canceling people for celebrating terrorism in the country. That's okay. I feel that
like calling employers.
Yeah, I've called a few schools to this morning that like people who were saying that the shooter's a hero for killing him. Yeah. I don't believe that terrorism has any place in America. And I think just from my background, my dad's an American history teacher. I think that free speech and all of these things are super important. But I just grew up in a house that was really talked about why it was so important for people to have discourse, even if it was people you didn't agree with. And we talked about this a lot in my family. And my dad taught this for 30 years in public schools across this country. So when I see someone murdered in front of their family for just opening a space for people to talk, something in me just snapped. And I wasn't a fan of Charlie Kirk, but I will say that if this is what America has become, where we can't have disagreements, if you're murdered for your political views, that's terrorism. And if you support terrorism in this country, I don't think you should be around children. And I want you fired from your job. And if you're stupid enough to put it online, even worse, you shouldn't be teaching kids. So that's what I've been doing.
Well, thank God they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, post it online, and so and so you're able to take action on that. I mean, these people have no right to be actually forming the minds of any children, teenager, young adult. It's absolutely insane. The inability to express political freedom in this country, that's what we're founded on. And if you're not able to do that, who the fuck are we?
I agree with everything that both of you said. I liked Charlie a lot. I consume a lot of this stuff on both sides. I follow like the Hassan Piker stuff, like the Destiny stuff, out of mostly like curiosity where this is trending. Like legacy media is fucking dead. And it seems like there's a real dearth of effective influencers on the left to continue the torch when, MSNBC, CNN, NPR, PBS, when that finally dies.
They already fired some hosts because of this. The comments he made on air.
Yeah, he was a commentator. He was a fucking dope. Most of them are. But who's actually Charlie was so effective with Gen Z, moved Gen Z males 44 points to the right. That is a staggering fucking number. We were talking before the show, also somewhat effective with Gen Z women. Move them a much smaller degree, but any budge there is pretty insane. So I've always been interested at like who is actually like being effective in this regard. I really liked Charlie. I didn't agree with everything that Charlie was, pontificating about. I thought at times he was a bit goofy.
I kind of thought that too.
South Park did a good job with.
But apparently he liked
that.
the South Park
and
thing.
he did. And I think that he was a genuinely good person. And
well, he liked the South Park thing because of what he was doing. He enjoyed hearing other perspectives and opinions and took them in and understood that it's about what he's saying. It's not about him as a person.
Yeah, he had humility, though. He was able to see the humor in people making fun of him. Like, that's a smart, reasonable person that you kind of want to hang out with in general. Rather than taking something like that with thin skin and getting really angry because somebody's making fun of your life's work. He approached it with humility and actually enjoyed it. I think they took that episode down, which is kind of just like a really...
They did. They should just keep it up.
Pretty cowardly move, I think, in my opinion.
That's interesting.
I'm shocked
they did
that they took it down.
Yeah,
they took it down out of respect.
Yeah.
But I think it's mostly cowardice. If you're going to do a thing, do it. What was I about to say? The other thing that has resonated with me, and other people have said this ad nauseum, he was the nice one, right? In terms of the influencers.
The debate me guy.
Yeah, he was patient, generous with his time. He wanted to get into it. He wanted to meet face to face. He did that his entire career. I don't think that people fully understand sort of like, what the entire universe of like influencers, like he's the nice one they killed, which is very sad. But
there's a reason he had an impact with Gen Z is because he's the only one that physically went and engaged with them and talked to them as if they were individuals and actually of sound mind and not patronizing and condescending. He took what they said with validity, and no one else is doing that in any sort of media space.